What is distraction? Is it a real concept, or is it something that we've just made up?
No, it's unfortunately, it's our greatest enemy, you might say. Adam and Hawa in the garden couldn't be distracted from the divine beauty that was everywhere, because there was nothing else. Wherever they looked, there was dhikrullah and the divine name Al-Qarib.
Subhanallah.
Now we're somewhere else, and everything is distraction.
Yes.
The modern world is distraction. They make money out of entertaining us in stupid, distracting ways. The modern world is committed to the principle of what in Arabic we call ghafla, heedlessness, not paying attention. So it's the sickness of the age. It has all kinds of sort of psychological as well as spiritual and moral problems, because usually when we take a wrong moral decision, it's because the mind, the believing mind, is not fully in place. If you are deciding good from evil, you need to be in full possession of all of your faculties. And usually when we take a bad decision, it's because we've shut out some part of our conscience in order to allow the lower self to grab something. So distraction tends to be the beginning of sin, as well as reducing our presence in, and therefore the intensity of our lives. It diminishes our status as living, experiencing, breathing, seeing, joyful human. Obviously, those mega corporations are trying very hard to distract us. From Amazon Prime to Netflix to Disney, they're all about the suffocation of the normal function of the human through the creation of somebody else's dream that gets in the way of what we perhaps should be thinking about and imagining and hoping for. So the whole world is really against us, and children get caught up in it at a very early age. Distraction is the nature of young children. Anybody who's taught them will know that a cat goes past the window and 20 young faces immediately forget whatever it was and look at the cat. And
absolutely.
Part of maturity really is defined in terms of being less distracted and being able to concentrate, because that's a mark of maturity and a mark of adulthood. And there's something about modernity that wishes to make money out of us by keeping us in that childhood. But alhamdulillah, in religion, we have all of the disciplines of religion help us to concentrate. The prayer is the gift of the Allahu Akbar at the beginning of the prayer. Is a reminder that everything else is not really important. You, as it were, push it behind you, and then there's just Rabb al-Alameen, and you know that there's only one thing you should be thinking about in that time, and for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you're free, you're in a contemplative space, liberated from all of those distractions. And if you've finished the prayer and you realize, well, what was I thinking? So part of the gift of sort of attentiveness in Ramadan at other times is this capacity really to perceive, and it should be a joyful thing, the amazingness of everything. Which is what the little child has. The little baby saying, oh, there's the world, and it kind of wants to run into it because it's so amazing and glowing. They have that. And it's also a very attentive state. The baby, when it sees its foot for the first time or something, kind of looks at it and can't think about anything else for a few seconds. And that's the kind of focused attention that we should really be acquiring. And it comes through the gift of amazement, which is what the Quran is always telling us about tafakkur, contemplating the heavens and the earth. Not just working out scientifically how things work, which is also very edifying, but also the deeper mystery of being, the miracle of beauty, symmetry, order, and that really should hold our attention. It's pretty stupid not to see the unlikely amazingness of things. But somehow this weird thing called distraction takes over, and we don't notice the irreplaceable miracle of every moment. So we say the believer has to be Ibn al-Waqt, the son of the moment. Or the daughter of the moment, consciously aware of the amazingness of everything, and therefore aware of the kind of divine gift of everything and the beauty of everything. So attentiveness, which is like contemplation, the muraqabah, tafakkur, is really something that should keep us happier than any form of distraction or any form of entertainment, which is operating on a much lower nafsani, egotistic level. Look at this inappropriate image, look at this inappropriate situation, look at this ugly act of violence, and we're kind of hooked. It's not the best part of us that wants to see those things. It's the lower self, the animal self, and it's never going to improve us to see images of other people doing something intimate or killing each other. There's no way that's going to nourish the spirit. So if we look away from that and look at nothing, just kind of inhale the improbability of the moment, that's when we start to become human. And that's what the Quran is saying, that it's through dhikr, the tatma'in al-qulub. Remembering Allah, which means remembering what everything is what brings the heart to peace, not scanning 1,000 channels and looking for something that will cheer you up or distract you. That's not going to succeed. So the modern world is in the grip of a trick, really. We've been deluded into believing that something's going to make us richer, more profound, more interesting, more entertained people, but not one of those channels is going to do that. Switch them off, look out of the window, listen to a bird singing, read Quran. That's going to center you and bring what the soul craves infinitely more effectively than anything that's on any of those channels. And yet we still fall for it.
We still fall for it. And I think it is this, you mentioned this multi-billion-dollar industry that has been built around keeping us perpetually immersed, immersed in something that will, by proxy, keep us distracted from perhaps what's really going on. And so this 24-hour news cycle thing that we've created, where people are constantly looking for something new, means that something important that has been happening often gets covered over by this constant pursuit of newness. Do you think this has a negative impact on us, or is this something that we would naturally desire?
No, of course, because we are, the Quran says, هَدَيْنَاهُ النَّجْدَيْن, we've shown him the two paths. There is, dhikrullah, and the divine proximity is overwhelming, hard to miss. And we're naturally designed to perceive it and to do tasbih and hamd. This is our role as khulafat. But at the same time, dunya is there. Dunya is distracting. Dunya has many manifestations. It's dancing before our eyes, saying, "Look at me." It's Salome's veils. It's kind of, So we have this possibility to be real and to be attentive. We also have this real tendency to find a false pleasure, satisfaction, solace in distraction. And that's our tragedy. And the problem with this capitalistic neoliberal world that we inhabit and imbibe is that they can't make money out of contemplation. Once you said Allahu Akbar, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, nobody can make money out of you.
You're no longer a consumer.
It's not possible. Even the lights flashing, radar watches above the haram in Makkah, you're kind of not looking. You're not supposed to look. That's a safe. That space is the ultimate nightmare of global capitalism. And fasting also. How do you make money out of people not eating and consuming stuff? Unless, of course, there's a special deal on Big Macs at the Jeddah Burger King or McDonald's or whatever. In which case, but even that is kind of catching up. So religion, it's kind of the worst nightmare of the global order, which is, of course, biocidal, destructive, bad for the soul, bad for the environment, bad for the animals. It's just negativity. So we're very fortunate to have these ancient, undiluted forms, especially in Ramadan, where they're intensified and deepened with the Taraweeh, with the fasting, with the fellowship of iftar, with the strengthening of family life. We are returning to what's normal to ourselves as human beings.